All right, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your favorite assembling agent, one would hope, and your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Uh, Today is Monday, and that is a cartoon series Monday, so we are talking about the second set of episodes, 4 through 6, of the Avengers United They Stand, which is apparently one of the most hated of all Marvel cartoons. A little unfairly. I mean, I know why. You can see it right there. It's a damn armor. But before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you think about this show or these episodes. It's a little unfair. If you take the armor off of them, they got some pretty decent costumes underneath. But we'll get into that because they do change them up a little bit here, and it works much better. So, are you ready? Let's assemble. Okay, we start with the fourth episode. Comes a swordsman. This is come here, you. Was aired November 27th, 1999, and this, if you know any of your Avengers lore, Hawkeye and the Swordsman have a long history. I think he's Jacques Bloch Dumac. Nope, Jacques Duquesne, which is I never knew his real name, and which is why he surprised me as to who that was in the Hawkeye, the wonderful Hawkeye uh, miniseries was on in the MCU. Greatly enjoyed it. So Hawkeye and the Falcon are still mending or trying to become friends. Now this is also in the Avengers way back in the 180s, in the 70s, where when Hawkeye got booted from governmentally by the team and replaced by the Falcon, who wasn't even an Avenger. So Falcon's just guys, and Falcon looks good. Great suit, some stupid armor. Why he needs it? Wouldn't armor just make him heavier? Why Hawkeye needs armor? Wouldn't that just make him more difficult to shoot his damn arrows? Well, damn armor. So they have a discussion, but the call goes out. They have to assemble, and they find out that this biological weapon, I don't remember what it's called, but it's capable of destroying for vegetation and just everything. At least Tiger doesn't have to. Tiger doesn't wear any armor. She just doesn't. She looks like she's about 12 here, doesn't she? It's part of the problem. The voice actors are fine. I don't want you to think I hate them. But I don't hate the show. Actually, it's starting to grow on me as we get along here. Jen looks fine, although they all look really young, and I get that. I like how that they have all these shows. Moana. Look, so it's obviously set in the future. They knew that Moana was going to be a Disney show. So, the Head Shop. Oh man, Simon Kabong. I think Leather Speak. Oh my gosh. Let's see if there's any more interesting. Buds. Yeah, I can't. That's a deli, but that could be anything. But Lark and Feel. The head shop and yeah, that one in mother speak. Me so hungry. Okay, that's clever. I'd probably go to this one right there, but monkey meat? No, the one above monkey meat. Be that as it may, Scarlet, Wanda, and Sam have a heart to heart about Hawkeye being a dink. Once again, pardon me, Sokovsky, I've lost his name again. Um, where is his stupid name? Raymond Sikorsky, yes. Who I still is just, I don't know why they didn't use Gyrick, but anyway, kicks him out of the team again, so off he goes because Hawkeye's still a hothead. But his non armor costume is fine. All of their non armor costumes look much better than their armor costumes. I mean, yeah, yeah. So there's the Avengers compound. You can see he's got a big A in it, fountains and all kinds of things. Swordsman shows up, with he's armed to the teeth. At least he doesn't have tons of pouches. They flash back to well, not a it's not a very long flashback to where Hawkeye and the swordsman meet, and there is the or the ringmaster. Pardon me. Now I think him and his circus of crime. I don't know if they debuted in Daredevil or Spider Man. It's one of the first times Spidey and Daredevil ever met, though. He did not have long blonde hair, and that still looks like a dork, though. His mustache is a little longer. So they're after this whatever it's called, Thimax, Crimax, Dimax, I don't know. But off they go. Yeah, there's going to be lots of such of Tiger. I do like that Red Wing is involved. Red Wing is a very big falcon. Very big falcon. They're not generally the size of eagles. And apparently the Vision can still fly when he's in, as hard as a diamond. You probably let that guy fall. So maybe, I mean, Hawkeye, what did they put you in and why did you allow this? I mean, even the armor is better than this outfit. And I'm a guy that enjoyed Hawkeye's, peplum inspired suit from issue 100 to about 109 or what? Yeah, 109. Not the best one. And look, the Falcons almost got, now I get it. Falcons have claws like because they're raptors. And dinosaurs. So of course they have sharp claws, but this looks a lot like Wolverine's claws, doesn't it? I'm not the only one. But the ringmaster uses his power to hypnotize people. Well done. Fortunately, Red Wing is not, so he stops them. He can see through the illusion, so he can find the real bomb. God, Ant-Man's costume is awful. I mean, it doesn't even look like an ant. I mean, it's just dumb. I don't understand it. And the Vision is overdone. They could have just keep it simple. That's the problem with it. The movies always had a problem with costumes because they were overly ornate and full of pouches again. And how long did it take him to get dressed? I mean, I get that's what it's why that they could change like that. Not the midi chlorians, but the nanotechnology so that they could just have it crawl on him and change over. But you can tell this is the ringmaster's truck because it's got a circle on it, a concentric circle. They tell Hawkeye what their deal is. They try to hypnotize everyone again, but it doesn't work. You'd think the Vision would have been immune to it simply because his visual receptors are not built like eyeballs. And same thing with his audio receptors. That was a thing in the comic books too. And somebody here might know a little bit about the Vision, probably too much. So he's hypnotizing a snake, but Wanda is just like, nope, not having it. So even before she was messing with the Avengers' minds in the live-action universe, she was messing with the villains' minds. Nice shot of Tiger jumping over. Nice action shot of Vision. Now, she hasn't, this is one, none of the women have really had their own episode. I'm hoping it happens, but we've only got 7 left, so. There, he's threatening him with the bioweapon. Hawkeye and the swordsman are having a face-off here. Oh my gosh. And you find out that the swordsman really doesn't want to kill people, which, because he did become an Avenger later on in the comic books. He reformed himself thanks to the Mantis. This one did not like that one. Okay, Yeah, that's very obscure. Oh my gosh, Hawkeye, change out of that. So it was a plan, it was a ruse to get Hawkeye to quit, and everyone's happy again. They're arguing, but it's more of the frenemy, more like they're friendly arguing now. And Jan just laughs off it, and then we see who's behind everything. If you don't know, this is the Zodiac, and apparently, if you don't, I already knew who this was because that's the Taurus who's running it because they would run in their particular month, whatever sign would be the head of the Zodiac at the time. Must be in May. And I don't remember what that is. But, so now we're going into Remnants. This is episode 7. No, this is not episode 7. No, this is episode 5. This aired December 4th, 1999. And apparently you could see a picture of the Beast, which, much better as an Avenger than an X-Men. And in the last one, Hawkeye was reading the Daily Bugle, or the paper. But I don't remember seeing that. Wait, who wrote that? Oh, okay. So there's an attack on some Telstar 9. And guess who it is? Ultron is back because he always comes back. Can't get rid of him. He's like Brainiac that way a bit. So off they go. Now they've got jungle gear on now because, if you put your armor on, you're going to swelter in that heat. I mean, I'm sure that it has air conditioning in it. And I'm sure that Tony Stark, invented it because Hank's a biochemist. That's where his science expertise is. He's actually named it. So, but I like these jungle costumes. They're lots of movement there. Falcon looks good. Vision doesn't have to change anything because he's not wearing a costume. Sort of, kind of. Except the cape, maybe the cape. They crash land because they got the sentries on the island attack them. They also attack Ultron, which is a little weird. Tigress probably loves the jungle. She tells him that, so she's not. She's wearing the least amount of clothes as anybody. The Wasp gets zapped. See, Hawkeye. No, Hank looks like he's Buona Beast in this, though. I couldn't figure it out for a while, and then I put it together. And the Vision destroys that, but the machinery is attacking people, so they're trying to figure that out. Now, Wanda, why does she need to have horns? So, unfortunately, and that's really all they did was, give her a helmet in green. But it didn't look too bad. Though Ultron repulses his attackers, who they find out are previous experiments that are still alive and trying to adapt. But so here we have Clint was talking to Wanda about how Wonder Man would have always played a practical joke, and Vision heard him and scared him with the snake. So he's like, "No, I appreciate it. Simon's in there somewhere, and I owe you one." So he's even, Hawk's bonding with the Vision faster than he's bonding with the Falcon. Although, you can't be teammates if you hate each other. Well, you can be. Look at all the bands that hated each other for years and still played or making too much money to quit. So there's his remnants, Ultron's remnants. You got one that looks like an alien from the Brood, which is Marvel's ripoff of the Alien, the second series of Xenomorphs, because the first one was in, naturally, it came from outer space Xenomorphs, or the originals. And just a bunch of other, they look like they're either from the Island of Misfit Toys or those toys that the kid in the original Toy Story cobbled together. Poor things. Yeah. I'd be wearing shorts too if I were down there, as little as possible in the jungle. Of course, bugs could bite you then, so maybe not. Yep, there he is. And look at how big that one is. He's grabbed Wanda and I think Falcon. Off they go. More explosions. So far, I don't think this series has shown anyone punch anyone yet, except they've run into the Vision. But I haven't recalled it. I think Wanda zapped him, but so they're trying to figure out what's going on here. Spider Ultron there. Tell me. So back there, we get one giant man shot, of course, and Ultron shows up, and his lackey, poor lackey. And then Vision tries to reason with him because they can change and get away from his control, but Hawkeye zaps him kaboom, and says, we don't have time to do that. And he's not wrong. Yeah, but Vision is a little sad. They leave the island. And of course, Ultron tries to leave the island first, but Wanda zaps him, and with her chaos magic and her hex, which is unpredictable, she was his greatest foe because he couldn't his adamantium armor or body that he'd made. She could hex it out of it, change it, and it wasn't he was not immune to her mutant power. So Hawkeye goes running in there to find Simon Wonder Man, but Wanda says no. We got to go. And there's a boom, a nice mushroom cloud. Vision laments that Ultron's remnants were not allowed to figure out if they could live without him. So poignant. And then we got one that erupts at the very end. So, spoiler alert, Ultron's coming back. As if you didn't figure that one out. And finally, we have Command Decision. Now, look who that's written by. Len Wein, someone I've met personally at Comic-Con decades ago. Very nice man and an excellent writer. This is a good episode. I mean, he did the best he could with what he had to work with, right? But it's not dumb, per se. And he was a good one to do it because what it is they're looking at dangerous government weapons. And it's Baron Helmut von Zemo. Hello, I'm Helmut. And his Masters of Evil, which is Tiger Shark, the Absorbing Man, Crusher Creel, and that's Boomerang. I don't know which Boomerang it is. There's Hank in his god-awful armor. Buzzing around. The female Moonstone, I think the second one, and I think this guy is called Cardinal. I've never seen him before. I don't know anything about him, and the link on Wiki wasn't worth trying. There's Crusher, the Absorbing Man, doing his absorbing thing. And then all of a sudden, our first guest star shows up, and you can tell who it is. The music changes to that uplifting, and everything's going to be fine. And it is Captain America. And Cap here is voiced by, so he's our Dan Chamery, Canadian. He originated the role of Gaston in 1995, in Canadian premiere, eh? So a lot of these voice actors are from the Great White North. I'm trying to see what else he's done. Voice, that's music. Let's see if we can find some television. Class of night. I don't know. Really Diabolic. Just looking for voice roles here. If I've seen any of them. So far, I have not seen any of them. Go Away, Unicorn? I've never even heard of that. Okay, so let's get back to Cap here. So Moonstone is arguing with whatever that doofus's name is about the bridge she blew up because it was the Avengers' fault that she wasn't allowed to shoot them. I mean, I think Moonstone is a very interesting character. They've had several Moonstones, if I remember correctly. She might have been one of the Thunderbolts, but I haven't seen the movie or read the comic book in decades. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I will. So there they go. Oh, there's the Whirlwind as well. Even he's got some armor on him, but Creel doesn't have any. And Boomerang doesn't either. Cap doesn't have any armor. Thank the gods for that. Giant Man shows up to save the train, and now we're at back at I don't know if that's the Avengers Vault or what, but of course Sikorsky's there. He's happy to see Cap, but he yells at Hank, and everyone's saying, "Hey, Cap, it's great," because Cap and Hawkeye go back to Cap's kooky quartet, and so does Wanda and Quicksilver as well, because that was their kooky quartet after most of the Avengers retired, and they claim that he founded the Avengers, at least in this timeline. He did not. They left out the Hulk as one of the original members too, because Cap wasn't there till issue 4 or 5, and I should know this. I've read it 100 times. So there's Tiger Shark, who is a foe of the Submariners. And there's Dragonfly, who is a member of Count Nefaria's Annie-Men. So I don't know if she's a mutant or a mutate, but they could use her in the comic books because They've shown the Beast and Quicksilver in cameos. Helmut remembers how his father got killed. He blames Captain America, even though Zemo was trying to kill Captain America and buried himself, which this happened, I want to say, in a flashback. No, actually, in probably Avengers 15 or 16, we get it. Rick Jones is nowhere to be seen. Poor Rick just gets hosed regularly. So Cap and Hawkeye reminisce over a cup of coffee. His shield grows and shrinks as he throws it. Who knows what it's made of at this point in time in this existence? He talks to Vision about Wonder Man. See, I think I think Hank's Ant-Man costume looks great. It's that stupid armor. I'm going to let go of it. And they're using an EMP device, which shuts off towns. Wanda just looks good. She's a brunette here, interestingly enough, which she was kind of originally. But Wanda Hex is the absorbing man who absorbs Moonstone's power, and it can't control it. But I don't know. I thought she was not like, it wasn't an inborn power. She had was an mechanical power. But there's the shield once again, and Cap foils Zemo's plans. He's like, and they're like, we got to get out of here. Moonstone's like, no, really, and he's like, no, I must destroy the captain because I know nothing else. I know nothing. Yeah, my German isn't very good. I haven't watched enough Hogan's Heroes recently. So let's see. Yep. And there's the Falcon in action. Wanda and Jan are trying to get the Quinjet to go, but it's just booting up slowly. So more fighting, and they have to switch foes. Now, Dragonfly has a mesmerizing power as well. I don't know too much else about her. She was in X-Men 95 and Cyclops, Psych as his friends call him, zapped her. She hypnotized him and his mind went blank and his visor raised up and zapped her. Oops. There's a whirlwind running into the Vision, or smack. That had her. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. Wanda Hex's Tiger Shark, because she's no match, and Cap takes on. This will never be over, Captain America. Never. Never, Ole Anderson. Just hear him say it as Dusty Rhodes. So, but it is over because they capture all the Masters of Evil. They're mad at Zemo for not getting out when they could have, and Cap says Hank's a great leader, and they shake hands, and everyone's happy. And Ultron's like, what? I need to pay them a visit because they're not expecting it. Because nobody expects the Ultronquisition. Yeah, I was reaching. All right. There's our 3 episodes of Avengers United They Stand. I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't like a lot of the designs, but it's growing on me. It's not something I need to own ever. You can find it on the Internet Archive. So tomorrow we are going to be talking about the first Superman live-action movie. Not the serials or the cartoons, but his first live-action theatrical movie. And that'll be a lot of fun, because it is. And it's a good one. It's a really well-done little movie. All right, my fellow agents, until our next assignment, this is X7. Signing off and phasing out.
Many years ago, when the planet Krypton, home of a race of supermen, exploded in space, the sole survivor was an infant boy who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Today, that boy, grown to manhood, is known as Superman.
How does it look?
Just like any other oil well.
Above ground, sure, but take my word for it, it's the deepest ever drilled.
Well, that's more than 6 miles down.
Good heavens, practically to the center of the earth.
That's what was in that report. I mean the one that you sent to the Home Office.
You're the newspaper man.
That's right, I'm Clark Kent from the Metropolis Daily Planet.
Oh, they had the bodies of moles and great big human heads. They were just horrible. Those creatures killed that poor old man, and they wanted to kill me.
Like you that make it difficult for people to understand one another.
You're not going to shoot those little creatures. Save your time and ammunition, Benson. Here, we aim to get it and string it up.
to stop me? You got Superman.
If he can't stop them, nobody can.
Now I'm going to give you one last chance to stop acting like Nazi stormtroopers.
You give the impression you're leading a double life.
Really?